Kyoto, 1612. A young samurai named Takedo knelt in his family's ancestral home, staring at his father's sword, feeling absolutely nothing. He was 22, trained since childhood, skilled beyond his years, yet completely hollow inside. His father had died with purpose, defending their lord. His grandfather had lived with clarity, serving with unwavering devotion. But Takedo, he woke each day asking the same question that poisoned his spirit. What am I even doing this for? He wasn't alone. Across the city, merchants questioned their trades, monks doubted their prayers, and warriors wondered if their training meant anything at all. The feeling of being lost, of drifting without direction, wasn't invented by modern times. It's an ancient disease of the spirit. But there was one group who seemed immune. The true samurai, the ones who walked the bushido path with complete clarity, never appeared lost. Not because their lives were easier, but because they possessed something modern people have forgotten, the purpose code. Miyamoto Musashi wandered Japan as a ronin, masterless, homeless, owning nothing, yet he moved through life with absolute certainty. 40 years of wandering, and he never once appeared to drift. Yamamoto Tsunetomo, who wrote the Hagakure, served his lord with such clarity that when his master died, Tsunetomo knew exactly who he was even without a master to serve. How did they do it? Here's what nobody tells you: purpose isn't something you find. It's something you forge. And the samurai had a specific method, a code that transformed confusion into clarity, drift into direction, emptiness into meaning. This is that code. Chapter 1, The Crisis of Drift. The moment purpose dies. Master Takahashi found Takedo in the training hall at midnight, practicing the same strike over and over with mechanical precision. The young samurai's technique was flawless, but his eyes were dead. You practice as if your body remembers, but your spirit has forgotten why. Takedo stopped mid-strike. Master, I don't know what I'm training for anymore. My father served his lord. But that lord is gone. The wars are ending. What's the point of being a warrior in peacetime? What am I even doing with my life? Takahashi sat, gestured for Takedo to join him. You think you're the first to feel this. You think previous generations had it easier, always knew their purpose. Let me tell you about the most lost samurai I ever knew. Takedo looked surprised. Master Takahashi was renowned for his clarity, his unwavering presence. When I was your age, I was exactly where you are. Skilled, disciplined, completely empty. I trained because that's what I was supposed to do. I served because that's what was expected. But inside, nothing, just drift. What changed? I met a monk who taught me something the great warriors understood. He said, you feel lost because you're trying to find your purpose in the world. But purpose doesn't come from the world. It comes from your relationship to existence itself. Takedo didn't understand. Takahashi smiled. You won't yet. But you will. Because what I'm about to teach you is the same code that guided Musashi through 40 years of wandering, that gave Tsunetomo clarity after his master died, that allowed countless samurai to walk through chaos with absolute certainty. This is the purpose code. The 3 poisons of being lost. Before we can forge purpose, Takahashi began, we must understand what destroys it. There are 3 poisons that make people feel lost. Most carry all 3. The first poison, external validation. You think your purpose comes from outside you. From serving a lord, from others recognizing your worth, from achieving things that make people respect you. So when external circumstances change, when the lord dies or the war ends or people don't acknowledge you, you feel lost. Because your purpose was never yours. It was borrowed. Taita felt this deeply. His entire identity had been built on external markers. Son of a respected samurai, student at a prestigious dojo, future warrior for his clan. But what was he when those labels fell away? The second poison, comparative purpose. You look at others and try to find your purpose by comparison. He serves his Lord with devotion, so maybe that's my purpose too. She finds meaning in art, so maybe I should create. He seems certain in the merchant's path, so maybe I should pursue wealth. But purpose found by comparison is purpose built on sand. When the comparison changes, the purpose collapses. Taita realized he'd been doing exactly this, constantly looking at others who seemed to have direction and trying to copy their sense of meaning. The third poison, future-dependent purpose. You tell yourself, I'll have purpose when I achieve this goal, when I reach that position, when I gain this recognition. So your purpose lives in a future that never arrives. You're never present to the meaning available right now. Always chasing a sense of direction that stays forever ahead of you. Taita had spent years thinking, once I master this technique, once I gain my own students, once I prove myself in battle, then I'll know my purpose. But each achievement brought only temporary satisfaction, then the emptiness returned. These three poisons, Takahashi said, keep you trapped in drift. The purpose code removes them. Chapter 2, the first key ikigai forged, not found. The mountain teaching. Takahashi sent Taita to a monastery in the mountains where monks practiced a specific meditation. For 30 days, Taita sat in silence, observing his mind with one instruction: watch where you search for meaning. Week 1 was revealing. Every thought about purpose involved something external. Proving himself in battle, serving a worthy lord, being recognized as skilled, achieving something impressive. His mind constantly reached outward, seeking purpose from the world. Week 2, the pattern deepened. He watched his mind generate and discard potential purposes. Maybe I should become a teacher. No, that doesn't feel right. Maybe I should pursue mastery of tea ceremony. No, that's not me either. Maybe I should. Endless mental searching, never settling, always looking for the right answer to be revealed from outside. Week 3, exhaustion. The constant searching was draining. Then a monk spoke. You're trying to find your purpose like trying to find your face. It's not lost. It was never separate from you. Stop searching. Start forging. Week 4, the shift. Taita stopped asking, what is my purpose? And started asking different questions. What pulls my attention naturally? What do I return to when obligation drops away? What would I do even if no one was watching, no one was judging, no recognition was possible? An answer emerged, not from thinking, but from observation. He loved the precision of movement, the geometry of combat, the endless refinement of technique. Not for showing others, not for achieving rank, not for future goals. He loved it inherently, the way birds love flight. That was the seed. Not the full purpose, but the raw material from which purpose is forged. The forging process. When Taita returned, Takahashi taught him the samurai method for forging purpose, the 4 circles of ikigai. Takahashi drew 4 overlapping circles in the dirt. Circle 1, what you love. Not what impresses others. Not what seems noble. What calls to you naturally, what you do regardless of outcome. For you, it's the refinement of technique, the precision of movement. Circle 2, what you're good at. Not what you wish you were good at. What you actually have aptitude for. your natural strengths. For you, observation, pattern recognition, physical discipline. Circle 3. What the world needs. Not what everyone needs. What your specific world, your time, your place actually needs. In an era where wars are ending, what's needed isn't more battlefield warriors. What's needed are those who preserve the warrior discipline, who teach precision and presence, who keep the tradition alive not through violence but through practice. Circle 4. What can sustain you? Not what makes you rich. What provides enough that you can continue? Can teaching, guarding, demonstrating the art provide sustenance? Yes. Where all 4 circles overlap, Takahashi said, that's where you forge your purpose. Not find it, forge it. By deliberately bringing these elements together. For Takedo, it crystallized. His purpose wasn't to fight in wars that were ending. His purpose was to become a living embodiment of warrior discipline, to preserve the precision and presence of the samurai arts, to teach not just technique but the consciousness that technique requires. Not found. Forged. By bringing together what he loved, what he was good at, what was needed, and what could sustain him. The critical insight. But here's what most people miss, Takahashi said. This purpose you forged, it's not permanent. It's not a destination. It's a direction. As you grow, as circumstances change, the 4 circles shift. You forge again. And again. Purpose is a practice, not a possession. This relieved something in Takedo. He didn't need to find the one perfect, unchanging purpose. He needed to practice the art of forging purpose as life evolved. Chapter 3. The second key, the death meditation. Why samurai obsessed over death. Yamamoto Tsunetomo wrote in the Hagakure, the way of the samurai is found in death. Meditation on inevitable death should be performed daily. Modern people think this is morbid. They are wrong. The death meditation wasn't about depression or nihilism. It was the most practical tool for clarity the samurai possessed. Takahashi taught Takedo the method. Every morning, before training, sit for 10 minutes and vividly imagine your death. Not abstractly, specifically. Imagine you'll die today. In battle, from illness, from accident. It doesn't matter how. But today is your last day. Feel that reality. Then ask, knowing I die today, what matters? What would I do with these final hours? What would I regret not doing? What would I stop caring about immediately? Takedo resisted at first. It felt dark, depressing. But Takahashi pushed him to try for 30 days. The transformation. Day 5. Something shifted. After imagining his death, Takedo stood up and realized the opinion of that arrogant student didn't matter. The comparison to other samurai fell away. The need to prove himself dissolved. What remained? The desire to train with full presence. The wish to tell his mother he loved her. The pull to sit in the garden and actually see the cherry blossoms instead of walking past them lost in thought. Death meditation didn't make him sad. It made him clear. Day 15, deeper clarity. Most of what he'd been pursuing, recognition, status, approval, turned out to be completely meaningless when viewed from his deathbed. None of it would matter in his final moments. What would matter? That he had walked his path with integrity. That he had refined his craft with devotion. That he had treated others with honor. That he had been present to life instead of sleepwalking through it. Day 30, permanent shift. Takedo no longer felt lost. Not because he'd found some grand cosmic purpose, but because death meditation revealed what was already clear. Purpose isn't about achieving impressive things. It's about living each day aligned with what actually matters when stripped of all illusion. The practical application. Takahashi explained the mechanism. The death meditation removes the false purposes that keep you feeling lost. When you truly accept your death, certain things become obviously meaningless. Impressing people you don't respect, chasing recognition that won't matter, comparing yourself to others who walk different paths, postponing what's important until someday. What remains after death meditation is your true purpose. Not added, but revealed. Like a sculptor removing stone to reveal the form that was always there. Musashi practiced this. That's why he could wander Japan without status, without wealth, without position, yet never feel lost. He carried his death with him. It clarified everything. Throughout history, warriors across all times and places have discovered this truth. Memento mori. Remember you will die. Not to be depressed, but to be clear. And today, in your life, in your time, this practice remains available. At presence and purpose, we teach this warrior discipline, not as ancient philosophy but as daily practice. The death meditation method, adapted for modern life but rooted in samurai clarity. If you feel lost, if you drift through days wondering what matters, if you chase goals that feel hollow even when achieved, this practice cuts through all confusion. Join warriors who choose clarity over comfort, truth over pleasant delusion. Because the samurai's secret to never feeling lost isn't hidden in temples. It's in the choice to carry your death with you, to let it burn away everything false, until only what's real remains. Chapter 4. The third key, the vow that binds. The power of sacred commitment. 6 months into his training, Takedo felt clearer but still occasionally drifted. Some days were purposeful. Others felt aimless. Takahashi noticed. You've forged a purpose. You've practiced death meditation. But you haven't bound yourself. Without binding, purpose remains theoretical. It becomes real only through vow. He told Takedo about Musashi's vow, made at age 21 after defeating Yashoka Seijuro. I will walk the path of mastery until death, with or without recognition, with or without comfort, unswayed by success or failure. 60-year commitment to a vow. That's why Musashi never felt lost. He had bound himself completely. The vow structure. Takahashi taught Takedo the traditional samurai vow structure. The declaration, I vow to walk the path of preserving warrior discipline through daily practice and teaching. The conditions, regardless of recognition, regardless of comfort, regardless of others' opinions. The duration, until death. The witness, I make this vow before heaven, earth, and mine ancestors. Write it, Takahashi commanded. Speak it aloud. Then burn the paper and let the smoke carry your vow to the ancestors. Once made, the vow binds you. You stop negotiating with yourself. The question of what should I do with my life disappears. You already decided. Now you just walk. Takedo resisted. It felt too permanent, too constraining. What if I'm wrong? What if my purpose changes? You're not vowing to never change, Takahashi said. You're vowing to walk your current path with complete commitment until clarity reveals a new path. Vows don't trap you. They free you from constant uncertainty. The freedom of binding. Takedo made his vow. He expected to feel trapped. Instead, he felt liberated. Every morning, no more questioning. No more wondering if he should pursue something else. No more comparing his path to others. The vow settled it. He was bound to daily practice, to teaching, to embodying warrior discipline. Done. The energy previously wasted on uncertainty, on questioning, on comparing, all that energy became available for walking the path itself. This is what moderns don't understand. They think freedom is keeping options open. never committing, always being able to change. But that creates exhausting uncertainty. True freedom comes from sacred commitment, from vowing completely, then walking without doubt. Samurai understood this. That's why they never felt lost. They had bound themselves to their path with the permanence of death itself. Chapter 5. The fourth key: daily ritual as purpose embodiment. Why routine matters more than goals. 1 year into training, Taikta had purpose, clarity from death meditation, and commitment through vow. Yet some days still felt empty. Why? Takahashi explained, "You've forged purpose, but you haven't embodied it. Purpose remains in your head, not in your bones. It becomes real only through daily ritual." He taught Taikta about Musashi's daily practice. Wake before dawn, cold water purification, 2 hours of technique refinement, walking meditation, painting or calligraphy, writing, teaching, more training, reflection. Every single day. For 40 years. The ritual wasn't about achieving goals, Takahashi said. It was about being who he was. Each day, through ritual, Musashi embodied his purpose. That made him immune to feeling lost. The ritual structure. Takahashi helped Taikta create his daily ritual. 5 a.m., wake, cold water wash, bow to ancestors. 5:30 a.m., death meditation, 10 minutes. 5:45 a.m., technique practice, 90 minutes. 7:15 a.m., breakfast in silence. 8 a.m., teaching students. 12 p.m., lunch, rest. 2 p.m., study warrior texts. 4 p.m., personal training. 6 p.m., reflection writing. 7 p.m., dinner. 8 p.m., sleep. Follow this exactly for 100 days, Takahashi commanded. No variation, no negotiation. Through repetition, purpose moves from concept to identity. The transformation through ritual. First week was difficult. Taikta's mind rebelled against the sameness, craving novelty. Week 3, something shifted. The ritual became easier, more natural. He stopped thinking about it and simply did it. Week 8, profound change. Taikta woke each day knowing exactly who he was and what he was doing. No drift, no confusion, no questioning. The ritual answered every morning's uncertainty before it could arise. Week 12, complete integration. The ritual wasn't something he did. It was who he was. His purpose had moved from his head to his bones. Now, even on difficult days, sad days, doubting days, the ritual carried him. He didn't need to feel purposeful. He just needed to do the ritual. The ritual was the purpose embodied. The hidden gift. Takahashi revealed the secret. Most people think purpose should make you feel good. Wrong. Purpose makes you feel real. Some days are hard. Some days doubt arises. But if you have ritual, you'll never feel lost. Because you're walking your path regardless of feeling. This is why samurai never felt lost. Not because they always felt certain, but because they had daily ritual that embodied their purpose whether they felt certain or not. The ritual made purpose independent of emotion. Made direction independent of motivation. Made meaning independent of circumstances. Walk the ritual, and you walk your purpose, regardless of how you feel that day. Chapter 6. The fifth key: the straight path versus circle running. The disease of scattered purpose. 5 years into his practice, Taikta was visiting Edo when he encountered a former training partner, Kenji, who seemed even more lost than before. "I've tried everything," Kenji lamented. Studied with 3 different masters, started a tea ceremony practice, joined a monastery, left the monastery, Began training merchants in self-defense. Now I'm considering becoming a government official. Nothing feels right. I'm more lost than ever. Taikta saw the problem immediately. Kenji wasn't walking a path. He was running in circles, trying every direction without committing to any. He remembered Takahashi's teaching. There are two ways to move through life: the straight path and the circular run. The straight path goes deep in one direction. The circular run samples many directions but goes nowhere. The straight path principle. Taikta explained to Kenji. Musashi wandered Japan for 40 years but never deviated from his path. He went deeper and deeper into understanding the way of the sword. He didn't switch between sword, spear, archery, tea, politics, business. He walked one path with complete commitment. That's why he never felt lost. Not because he stayed in one location, but because he walked one direction. You can physically wander while spiritually walking straight. Kenji protested. But what if I'm on the wrong path? Shouldn't I try different things to find the right one? There's a difference, Taikta said, between exploring before commitment and constantly switching after commitment. You've committed to 5 different paths in 5 years. That's not exploration. That's avoidance of the depth that comes from staying. The 10-year rule. Taikta shared Takahashi's wisdom. Any worthy path takes 10 years to reveal its depth. If you switch every year or two, you experience only the surface of everything and the depth of nothing. Choose a path that uses your natural aptitudes, that calls to something in you, that serves what's needed. Then walk it for 10 years without deviation. If after 10 years it's truly wrong, you'll know. But 90% of people who switch paths are running from the difficulty of depth, not walking toward genuine wrongness. This hit Kenji hard. He realized he'd never stayed with anything long enough to get past the initial difficulty, past the plateau, into the depth where real purpose lies. The application. Take them offered. Stop sampling. Choose one path. Vow to walk it for 10 years. Create a daily ritual around it. Then stop questioning and just walk. The first 3 years will be hard. Years 4 through 7, it becomes natural. Years 8 through 10, depth emerges. That's when you'll understand why samurai never felt lost. They walked straight. Kenji made a decision that day. He chose teaching sword technique to merchants and farmers. Vowed 10 years. Created his ritual. Taikta visited him 5 years later. Kenji was transformed. No longer scattered, no longer lost. Clear, focused, purposeful. Not because he'd found the perfect path, but because he'd walked one path straight. Chapter 7. The Integration Living the Purpose Code. 15 years later. Taikta, now a master himself, sat in his dojo watching students train. A young samurai approached, the same lost look Taikta had carried decades ago. Master, I feel lost. I don't know what I'm doing with my life. Taikta smiled. He knew exactly what to teach. The purpose code complete. Feeling lost isn't a problem to solve, Taikta began. It's a signal that you haven't forged your purpose. Let me teach you what Master Takahashi taught me, what the great samurai knew. First, forge your purpose. Stop searching for purpose in the world. Forge it from 4 elements. What you love, what you're good at, what's needed, what sustains you. Where these overlap, that's your raw material. Shape it deliberately. Second, practice death meditation. Every morning, imagine your death today. Let death burn away false purposes, approval seeking, comparison, status chasing. What remains is what actually matters. That's your true direction. Third, make sacred vow. Once you've forged purpose, bind yourself through vow. I will walk this path until death, regardless of recognition, comfort, or others' opinions. Let the vow settle all uncertainty. Stop negotiating with yourself. You already decided. Fourth, create daily ritual. Embody your purpose through daily ritual. Same time, same actions, every day. Let the ritual make purpose independent of emotion. Walk it whether you feel purposeful or not. The ritual carries you. Fifth, walk straight. Choose one direction and go deep for 10 years minimum. Stop sampling surfaces. Stop switching when difficulty arises. The depth where real purpose lives only reveals itself to those who stay. This is the purpose code, take the set. Not one key but 5, working together. This is why samurai never felt lost. Not because they had easier lives, but because they had this code. The eternal teaching. The young student asked, but what if I try this and still feel lost? Take a look at him directly, and his words carried beyond the moment. This teaching extends across all time. Throughout history, warriors have discovered these principles. That purpose is forged, not found. That death clarifies what matters. That sacred vows create commitment. That daily ritual embodies purpose. That straight paths go deeper than circular running. And today, in times beyond this dojo, beyond this era, others seek what you seek. They feel lost in their modern lives, drifting without direction, searching for purpose that seems always out of reach. At Presence and Purpose, we keep this warrior discipline alive. Not as history, but as practice. Every week, the purpose forging method. Every week, the death meditation practice. Every week, the vow creation process. Every week, ritual building and straight path walking. If you feel lost, if you recognize yourself in that drift, walk with us. Not as passive learning, but as active practice. Join warriors across time who discovered that purpose isn't found, it's forged through specific practices. Because the samurai's secret to never feeling lost isn't hidden in ancient scrolls. It's in the choice to forge rather than search, to commit rather than sample, to walk straight rather than run in circles. The student bowed deeply. Master, where do I begin? Taita handed him brush and paper. Write down what you love, what you're good at, what's needed, what can sustain you. Tomorrow, we forge your purpose. The next day, you make your vow. Then we build your ritual. And you walk straight for 10 years. Just like that. Just like that. The code is simple. Following it is the challenge. But every samurai who followed it found the same result. Absolute clarity, unshakable direction, immunity to drift. The warrior's purpose code summary. 1. Forge purpose from 4 circles: what you love, what you excel at, what's needed, what sustains you. 2. Practice daily death meditation. Let mortality reveal what actually matters. 3. Make sacred vow. Bind yourself completely to your forged path. 4. Create daily ritual. Embody purpose through unchanging practice. 5. Walk the straight path. Go deep for 10 years minimum. This is how samurai never felt lost. This is how you walk through life with clarity, regardless of circumstances. This is the purpose code. Forge it. Vow it. Ritualize it. Walk it straight. Never drift again.